All right, Jeff, we hinted at it earlier. We teased it. We got to talk Indiana. The
Yeah.
Goodman family school now. There's true allegiance. You're wearing your Indiana hat. Somehow not wearing an Indiana dad shirt yet. That's the disappointment.
I got to
We'll
order
get
one.
there. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get
Well,
there. We'll get there.
listen, I'm looking. Well, I'm already looking at the tuition bill, so I don't need to buy anything else right now. I'm already scared when I look at the tuition, of what I'm going to end up having to pay for the next 4 years.
The IU dad shirts don't come with the tuition rebate. They should. That should be
Nothing
priced
comes
into
with
that.
it. Nothing. No.
All right, but hey, they had a real big win. They took care of business tonight at home, extended late against Maryland. Do we feel like this was the performance they needed? They got an awesome game from Xavier Johnson. I think the point guard questions have been lingering with them. Was that sustainable with Xavier Johnson? Is that more of like hype home spot? He plays well. He's just erratic.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, right? That point guard play and guard play for them is a problem. You kind of know what you're going to get out of, like, Race Thompson's awesome.
And how about his development?
He's awesome. I mean, love him. And Trace is good. Sometimes they don't get him the ball, again, because their guard play isn't good enough. But X was really good tonight. Didn't miss a shot from the field. Passed the ball well. Took care of the ball. Now, again, not a huge win. I said it was a huge win on Twitter, and it's a huge win because it's not a loss. Like that, honestly, that's what it comes. Sometimes, Steve, right? That's the case. Question. Like, you're coming down the stretch, and it's not like it's a big win at home against Maryland. It's one you
just can't lose.
Can't lose it.
Just can't lose it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's one you got to have, and then kind of, I don't know if the next one falls in the same category.
I think on the next one, you just can't lose it
at Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah, they lost 5 in a row. Yeah, right. You just at some point you just want to see the W go up in the column, no matter how ugly or pretty it is. It's nice to get one up there. Steve, with this Hoosier team, they're lurking right around the bubble. I think the losing streak I just mentioned has brought them back down towards bubble territory. But if they get some wins down the stretch here, they're going to get a nice chance with Rutgers at home. I don't know if they can get Purdue again. I don't know if they can sweep them twice in the season, but do you feel like this team has the ability to be a threat in the NCAA tournament? They're kind of a little like Ohio State, where their 3-4-5 is great, but maybe not as strong in the backcourt.
Yeah, I think they're kind of that first weekend team to where I think they'll be excited if they get a bid to the NCAA tournament. I think they'll be thrilled and excited, and then just continue. Michael continue to set his foundation, that he wants there. But I think they'll be thrilled to get in, from that standpoint. They're 1-5 in their last 6, 3-6 in their last 9. It's like Jeff said, man, they had to win this one, and it's Maryland, so it doesn't move the needle. And the at Minnesota game will be a road win. If they can get that, that probably won't need to move the needle. They got 2 opportunities to move the needle. Rutgers at home, Purdue on the road. If they can split those, I think they go to the Big Ten tournament, try to win one there, and then hopefully they probably think they're in then.
Yep. Hey, Jim, what's your advice for me here? I have such a difficult time now because, as you guys know, I'm honest to a fault. I can't not say what I believe, but with Indiana, I'm in a tough spot here because I've already pissed off the fan base. They don't like me because I said that, number one, they weren't going to get Brad Stevens, which they weren't, obviously. Number 2 was I didn't like the Mike Woodson hire because he's a former NBA guy. And as I pointed out in a column 2 weeks ago, like most of these guys, and the latest is Lindsey Hunter. Did you see that today? He was put on administrative leave. Oh, so wow. There's the latest NBA guy that's failing. I just what do I do? Do I just have to abandon my whole philosophy here and just be nice to Indiana no matter what?
You got to get a burner, or you got to get Rob Douster to give you his login info, and you tweet all the bad stuff from Rob Douster's account. Anything you got to say negative about Indiana, you just go that way.
That's a good idea.
I mean, I think one of the best things about being in the media and for people like you is the honesty and the sincerity. People know they're going to get that. So it's going to be tricky. It's probably going to be a fine line you're going to have to walk, but hopefully, and I was a college kid more recently than you guys. Hopefully the other college kids are normal enough to know that Talia doesn't share every opinion that her father does. So
I'll give you a good story. I'll give you a good story. So she commits, chooses Indiana 2 days ago, and she's all into it now. So she's listening to Indiana podcasts. She's watching every sport, whatever. So she's driving home while listening to an Indiana podcast. I don't remember the name of it right now. The other day, and they're talking about me and killing me on it. Basically saying, like, if we have Jeff Goodman on here, I will, I don't like him. I can't be nice to him, blah, blah, blah. And then they mentioned Talia a little bit, and like in a vague way. So luckily I reached out to somebody who knew them, and they were kidding. They were having some fun with it. And hopefully I'm going to be on that podcast at some point, but I felt so bad. Like, she comes home, and again, I don't care what anybody says. And she's heard enough bad things about me, but not with regard to the school she's going to go to. So it was like, what do I do here? Like, I can't put her in that spot as a dad to where she's nervous about going to school there, and she wants to get into sports media.
Yeah, it's tricky. That's certainly not a place I have advice for. Not having kids makes me a little bit of a weak advice point there, unfortunately. Steve, I want to pivot quick because we've got another bubble team potentially getting a huge win here. Oregon on ESPN, up 6, 45 seconds to go, might sweep UCLA. Ducks have been struggling lately, took a couple big losses to Arizona State and Cal. How important is this one for them, both from getting in, the bubble perspective, and a mindset going into USC on Saturday and going into the Pac-12 tournament, knowing that they still have this gear to them? How important is this?
Man, this was huge. I thought, kind of like we were talking about, opportunities present themselves, and you got to take advantage of it. And I think Oregon did that today. 1-3 in their last 4. I thought they had to get this one today. And they got this, and that sets up what it does. And now it makes the Southern Cal game on Saturday a huge game for them. And so that if they can get that, then I think Oregon starts feeling really good. They go on the trip to finish the year. They go to the Washington State to finish. And then, Dana Altman, he loves the Pac-12 tournament, and he'll go run the table that, and
don't
take
bet
care
against
of business.
them.
Yeah, don't bet against them in that Pac-12 tournament. He's phenomenal. But I think this was huge. They had a great opportunity tonight. They answered the bell, and that really pushes them forward towards the tournament.
Jeff, any concerns about UCLA getting swept by a team like Oregon, or are we kind of like, hey, this is who UCLA is? Juzang had injury issues tonight. Don't want to discount them too much. Are you taking anything away from this for the Bruins?
Yeah, he didn't play. Tiger came back. Like, Jaquez still isn't healthy. I don't know. I mean, I feel like UCLA kind of is what maybe we thought. Like, we kind of overrated him. Again, we overrated him based on a 4-game run that might not have been quite indicative of who they were last season. In fact, it wasn't completely indicative. They got hot at the right time. They could have lost. I mean, I was there for the game against Michigan State in the first 4.
That's also down at halftime, right?
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. They're a good team. I think we put them in that elite upper echelon, and I'm not sure they're justified with that. I think if they're completely whole, they can beat most teams, but I'm not sure they can beat those elite teams, even when they're whole, even when they're playing their best. I'm not sure they're better than, the Kentuckys, the Gonzagas. I mean, again, even like Arizona, like, I know they beat them there, but I feel like Arizona is a better basketball team than UCLA is.
Yep. We saw that rematch together in Tucson, and Arizona got up double digits in that one. Jaquez was kind of playing on barely half a foot at that point.
So was Tubelis, though. I mean, they were both banged up.
Yep. And I think that's, part of last year. The run was a lot of things broke well. And this year, if they're not going to be as healthy, and they're maybe not going to shoot as well, and opponents aren't going to shoot as poorly, then, it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle for them. But definitely a big win for the Ducks. Memphis also got a big win here.
If they finish it, it's not over, right?
Up 8, 20 seconds. Yeah.
Now up 5 with 14 seconds, but it looks like it's over.
That's it.
Yeah, it looks like it's over at this point. It'd be hard to imagine.
Yep. So the big one for the Ducks. We'll change our tune if the miracle happens here. But Memphis has also picked up a big win today. Maybe we
it's a good day for bubble game, right? A good day for bubble teams for the most part.
Yep.
Indiana, Oregon, Memphis.
Yeah, poor Belmont, I think, fell by the wayside tonight because Steve's Racers took care of business in that one.
And but you look at Indiana though. If they can go 2-1 down the stretch, they go finish 10-10 in the Big Ten. I just think it'd be hard pressed to not take them. Right. You go 10-10 in the Big Ten and you don't get in. I'd be surprised.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think they've got to win. Here's what they got to do. Probably they got to win these next two. And who cares about Purdue? And you could even lose in the first round of the Big Ten tournament because you're going to play in the first round. You're probably going to play Michigan, Michigan State, or Iowa. So you're going to play a tournament team most likely. Michigan, I know, is on the bubble, but I think Michigan probably plays their way in now. We'll see. So if you lose one of those two, these next two games, then to Minnesota or Rutgers, then I think you have to win that game. In your first game of the Big Ten tournament. How about Oregon? A lot of crowd court storming going on.
Yeah.
A lot of it this time.
They're having fun. The kids are having fun. All right, let's take one more break here. When we come back, might talk a little bit of Memphis, but we're definitely going to look ahead to the weekend slate. We're going to make Jeff and Steve call their shot on a game or two coming up for the weekend. So stay with us here on SiriusXM 84. We'll be right back.